Football coaches, here is an underrated defending session plan that I used this morning and the players absolutely loved it. So make sure you save this for later, share it with your other coaches in your team, or if you want a specific idea for your next session, let me know in the comments and I'll do a video just for you. The idea of our session today was looking at defending principles because we looked at attacking principles, now we're starting at defending. And the first one I wanted to do was defend in a 1v1 situation to go and press. So for this, I used the 4 S's of defending, which isn't made by me. It's a well-known acronym in grassroots coaching. I'm going to share it with you, but there's a slight twist that our players came up with themselves. So we always start with a match, so when players arrive, I add them in 1v1, 2v1, and keep going till all the players arrive. Then we moved in to this 1v1 game. So first I'm going to tell you the setup of the game, how it works, and then I'll go into more detail about the 4 S's of defending. So to play this game, we paired them up. Obviously I had more players than this, but to show you how the game is set up. And you have 1 cone per player. And the idea is to start the game, the player with the ball will pass it to their opponent, and then they will go and defend. And the person with the ball then has to try and score and hit the cone. If they miss, then they would take the ball back and then they would then pass the ball to their partner and then the game starts again. Try to score by hitting the cone. You'd play for about 2 minutes, keeping score, and then here's where we play our snakes and ladders format of the game. So let's say this is pitch number 3 and this is pitch number 1. If you win your game, you move up to the next pitch. And if you win here on pitch number 2, you'd move up to pitch number 1. If you win on pitch 1, you would stay there. If you lose your game, then you would move down 1 pitch. So if you lose on pitch 3, you would go to pitch 2 to pitch 1. And if you lost on pitch 1, then you would stay there. Now, if it's a draw, you could do a couple of things. You could do rock, paper, scissors, or you could do the last person to score would win. So say this person here scored to make it 2-2 in the last second, then they would win and they would move up. So that's how the game works. And this is where we introduced the 4 S's of defending, which I'm going to talk about now. So the first S is shut down. And this is why this game is perfect, because once you've played the ball to your opponent, you want to go and shut down the space between you and your opponent. Then, of course, if you go too fast to shut down, then the player in the ball is just going to shimmy round you. So, second S is slow down. When you get close to your opponent, you're going to slow down. Now, number 3. This is where people normally say sit down. And I often find when you introduce it with younger players, they take it literally and go, oh yeah, sit on the floor. No. So I often say surf. So stand in a position like a surfer. And then one of the kids this morning went, oh yeah, like the surfing bird emote on Fortnite. And I was like, okay. All the kids are like, yeah, that one. Let's go with it. So when you shut down and close the space, you slow down to make sure that you're keeping distance and don't dive in because they're going to go around you. Then you surf. So you're in a sideways position, dictating which way you want your opponent to go. Then the 4th S, showdown. So you're 1v1, you're set in the surf position, you've slowed down, you've shut the space, and now it's you versus your opponent to see who's going to win the ball or who's going to come out on top. So, shut down, slow down, surf, and showdown. They are the 4 S's of defending, and use this game in a 1v1 situation. Then we finish with a 4v4 small-sided game. Apologise if the line dropped out, but you get the idea. However, you would score by obviously scoring in the goal. But what I said was, if I see a player show me the 4 S's of defending during the game, I'm going to award your team 4 bonus points, 1 for each S. So that encourages players to still focus on the task that's been set of playing a game of football, and then not forgetting what we've learned in the previous 40 minutes of the session. So it's a great way of still playing a game, but keeping players focused on the task, which was 4 S's of defending in a 1v1 situation.